Hey, what's up, guys? Little man with a big opinion here. In today's video, I'm going to talk about what I personally am preparing for in 2022, and then I will talk about some of the things that uh, can happen. And it's my hey, if you're not prepping, here's some reasons why I think you should be prepping. There will be momentary pauses for me to drink more of this coffee, and then I'm not going to talk about every single issue for why you should be prepping. So in the comment section down below, let's get a discussion going. Let me know what you are preparing for. uh, think of it kind of like the Doomsday Prepper show. uh, you know if you seriously think an EMP is going to happen, then let me know in the comment section what you're doing, why you're prepping for it. Why do you think that's going to be the thing that happens? Uh, and then, if you like what I'm doing with the channel, then make sure you subscribe. The last time I looked at my analytics, like 30% of the people that watch my videos are subscribed. Uh, so the other 70% of you watching my stuff, just go ahead and click that little button for me. Poor favor. But let's go ahead and get into it. The number one thing that I'm worried about, um, and it's the reason why I prep, is an economic collapse. Um, it's the thing that I've been worried about since I started prepping. Uh, it's mostly from what my dad told me up until I got into college and was able to pay attention to the news myself. And it really doesn't matter if it's a Republican or a Democratic president. They are both adding to the deficit. Um, Republicans really like to lower your taxes, but they don't really like to cut spending to much of anything. And Democrats like to add more programs and add more money to stuff, and increase your taxes. But the taxes can never pay for everything that they want. So either way, we're spending more money than we're making. And just from a simplistic standpoint, we're paying an interest on that because a lot of our debt is bought by other countries, and we pay an interest on it. It's not going down, it's always going up. And it might be little brain me, but if I make $100 and I spend 110, then I can't spend 110 unless I take out a loan. But if I do that enough, then they quit giving me a loan because I'm not paying the money back to them. And at some point, it falls apart. And so I am worried about that. So that's why I put food and water away. That's why I learned skills that can be traded and bartered with during some sort of collapse. That's why I'm doing my teaching certification, so I can make more of the money that they're printing even more of, to make my money and your money less than what it's worth. But even right now, I'm a substitute teacher going through my teaching certification. I do DoorDash and I donate plasma just so that I can put extra money into prepping. And then I make the YouTube videos for y'all to give you, a guideline to follow, so that, I think if enough people prepared, like there was a survey a few years ago that said over half the U.S. couldn't pay for a $500 emergency. The financial advisor people say you need at least 1 month's worth of your monthly expenses, and that's your safety net in case you lost your job. I kind of do the same thing with food and water. If the money stopped coming in, if the money stopped coming in, then you don't have to worry about spending, a certain X amount because you've got the food put away. But if enough people, prepared, then I think an economic collapse would be a lot less. A lot less people would starve, go hungry, perish, whatever you want to call it. During World War II, almost every family had a victory garden. The farmers were still making food and stuff, but a lot of their resources were going into meals for soldiers, uh, basically on all of the Allied side. Uh, Even in Great Britain, they had volunteers pick their fruit, and a lot of that fruit was sent to soldiers. But the individual people had the fruits and vegetables in their personal gardens. A lot of them had the livestock that they needed. They had a cow for their own milk, they had chickens for their own eggs, and they had rabbits or goats or something for meat. And they were taking care of themselves. From an economic standpoint, there are historians that argue that's what helped the United States be so productive during the war. And now we're at the point where, less and less people are taking care of themselves than ever before. And it's getting to a point where the skills to take care of yourself, to be self-sufficient, they're dwindling faster and faster. So when there are minor bumps in the road, they become exacerbated, and it becomes big issues for people. Like I said, the printing of a lot of money, making your money that you already have worth less, so you have to use more of it to get the same amount of products. It's just a downward spiral. So that's the biggest reason why I prep. The general other things for why you should prepare is natural disasters. I think that right there is hands down. Everyone has to deal with some sort of natural disasters wherever you live. I don't really prepare much for hurricanes anymore because I don't live at the beach anymore. Now I mostly just deal with colder weather, the occasional tornado, the minute possibility of a hurricane, earthquake. But depending on where you live, if some of these things are more prone than others, then that is a perfect reason why you should prepare. If you didn't check out my videos either yesterday or 2 days ago, where I talked about I-95 being shut down in Virginia, basically there's a big wreck because of a big snowstorm. It shut down the road. Police, firefighters, EMS couldn't get it cleared away quick enough because of the snow. And when I did the video in the first article I was talking about, it was 15 hours of people being stuck on the highway. And then the next day, there was more articles talking about people, staying in their cars overnight and them running out of gas. There was issues of people that needed medicine that didn't have it, people going hungry, people being cold, people just walking home or trying to get to a hotel. And I would probably make the guess that one or two people in that whole group were prepared in any way for something like that. And that, that little bitty bump of, oh, look, there's traffic because of a car accident, turned into a bigger bump because of the snow. Okay, you can leave your car running, you turn the heater on. But, you're the type of person that runs your car until your gas light comes on, and then you go get gas, versus the type of person that fills their car up as soon as it gets under half a tank. It doesn't matter if your car had 30 miles or 400, sitting there for that long, you're going to run out of gas. So you got a kit in your trunk that has food, water, sleeping bag, tent, stuff like that. It's your get home bag. If someone had one of those, they probably would have been doing okay. Most of the people were probably eating the snacks that they got at the gas station, holding on to the water that they had. And in that situation, they didn't know how long they were going to be there. That's probably why people kept their cars running so they could stay warm. When you get stuck in traffic, if you're not moving, you expect to be moving within a certain amount of time. And all of those people that were just stuck there, that they basically had to wait for someone else to take care of them. That's the most recent thing. We're getting pretty close to the 1 year anniversary of that big freeze in Texas, where the power grid went down and a lot of people didn't have power. This guy right here, our power company's windmills, they froze. We didn't have electricity for 5 days. I lived in Corpus during Hurricane, I think it was Hurricane Harvey. Natural disasters happen to people all the time. And being prepared for those generally prepares you for a lot of the other things that go on in life. So if you're worried about a tornado, you put away your food, water, flashlights, security, stuff like that. If a zombie apocalypse happened, the same supplies you're going to use for that tornado, you're going to use for that. Just like if you think, Yellowstone is going to erupt. Most of the supplies that you're preparing for that can be used for the economic collapse of what I'm preparing for. The general items for any situation are going to be the same ones used for each of these different ones. If you live close enough to Yellowstone that you've got to bug out and you need, gas masks with filters and stuff, you're probably not going to use that specific item for an EMP. But if you're worried about nuclear fallout, then your gas masks could be universal. It just depends. That's why you should, subscribe to the channel and check out other videos. I've talked about, the first 10 items you should get, prepping 101, how to get started, what you should focus on first. But the point of this video is to, give you a simple reason why you should prep and the reason why I prep. And I briefly discussed, this is why I think this is going to be an issue. A lot of other prepping channels, I don't know if the people have said that a economic collapse is the reason why they prep, but they have said that they're, worried about that kind of stuff. So if you're worried about something and you're not taking steps to mitigate that worry if it were to come to fruition, then you're basically saying, I want someone else to take care of me. And if they can't take care of you, then you're el screwed. So, if you would like to be self sufficient, if you would like to be able to take care of yourself, if you're that type of person, then subscribe to the channel. And I'm doing my utmost best to release one video a day, at least for the duration of January in 2022. I didn't do one on New Year's because I didn't think about this idea until January 2nd. But I'm going to see how long I can go with doing one video a day. So also make sure you hit the little bell icon. It'll let you know when I release a video. You know, I don't have like a set schedule of, oh, the video is going to come out at 10 a.m. every single day. I've got a list of topics, and I just kind of randomly pick one and talk about it. So the last thing I'll say is, if you have questions and you leave them in the comment section down below, they could turn into videos as well. Or just the discussions that we have could give me more ideas for different videos. But we're getting long enough in this video as is. So I'll catch you in the next one.